absolutely wow. This episode has been amazing for so many reasons, so let's talk all about it. Hey everyone and welcome back for a new Attack on Titan video covering the latest episode, Retrospective. Easily one of my favorite episodes now. And stick around for the end of this video because I will talk about the first moment that should be the beginning of the next episode, the final episode of this season. Also important to mention there won't be a new episode released next week, and instead it will be aired on April 3rd as far as I understand. Don't forget to subscribe for any future updates about that, also including a live stream and more videos I plan on doing this week. So if you are interested, turn on all notifications to my channel so you won't miss any of that. And now let's dive deep into all the new events, same as Daz, who starts off this episode. We get another look at the heartbreaking moment between Samuel and Connie, while behind them the fight is raging. Reiner and Annie work together fighting the soldiers, while we find out from the engineers it would take a day to assemble the flying boat. That is not an option for our group, they can't hold on for so long, especially when there are probably reinforcements coming and they would surely make a lot of difference when they arrive there. Angie also mentions that the rumbling is advancing much faster than expected. In 4 days it could destroy the entire continent. And that means that even if they would stop Eren as fast as they can, there is no possible way for them to reach Liberio on time. That means that Annie's father as well as the warriors' families are beyond saving at that point. This triggers a little memory from Jean of a moment manga readers know very well, but anime watchers have no way of knowing. This is again one of the moments from the missing chapter I mentioned in my past videos. Island Devils has some very important moments that were not animated yet, but they are extremely crucial to the reason our group looks at this entire situation so differently from other people on the island. You can watch my original breakdown review of the missing chapter here if you want to know what it's all about, and check out what went down in that crazy party. Luckily, Kiyomi says that there is an island they can go to in order to complete the preparations before flight. They should leave right now and hope they can make it in time. The island called Udia is at a distance from the rumbling, unlike Marley, which according to Hanji already got hit by the rumbling. Kiyomi herself admits this is a huge gamble. But Magaf tells the engineers to start working on the ship, and Hanji goes to inform Mikasa about the new plan. Outside we get to see Mikasa actually defending Annie from a Thunder Spear attack. This entire episode is full of people that faced each other in the past, but now they are working together. The Armored and the female Titan cover the Azumabito engineers while the scouts defend the Titans from the Yeagerists. This is the first time the scouts are working together with the Armored and the female Titans, and with all the extra animation scenes everything just looks amazing. Great cooperation between the scouts and the warriors, and some really incredible moments when Reiner and Annie stop a barrage of Thunder Spears with their hands. This is also the first time for Annie to fight against this kind of weapon. The last times the scouts encountered the female Titan was in the forest of the giant trees and later in Wall Sina. In both times it took a lot to stop her. This is here to prove to us how the Titan powers are indeed becoming less and less powerful as the world progresses technologically. This is the end of the Titan age Marley was so afraid of. The female Titan gets shot with a barrage of Thunder Spears but gets saved by Reiner who takes all the damage. Those two have never gotten along, and it is so amazing to see these titans fight together for the first time. On the docks, Flock gives a speech to his soldiers. If Eren will die, the world will never forgive them now. They will come and kill all of their families. They need to stop them to save their future. Erwin was a huge inspiration to Flock, and it's no surprise he wants to inspire his soldiers as well. Also, it's nice to mention that Erwin inspired his people to fight in honor of the past, to not let the deaths of their friends be for nothing, while Flock inspires his men to defend their future, their island, and their families. Connie arrives with Armin, but he continues straight to the fight, leaving Armin with Magaf. The Card Titan and the rest of the group look at the fight from a safe distance. Falco feels useless. He knows Porco would have been much more effective here. When a Titan shifter uses his power for the first time, he usually doesn't have control of his Titan. That's why Peak tells him not to use it. But soon after, he runs away to do his own thing. Remember those reinforcements from earlier? Well, they are here now and they are about to change everything. Okay, forget about that. Jean finds Falco playing with nails in an alley. They also met before when Jean tried to kill him on Liberio, only now Jean is concerned about him and he tells him to get to the ship. In the background, the two titans are half destroyed. Reiner can't move and Annie can't see anything. Which is pretty understandable when you don't have your head, but just as they are going to be blown up with thunder spears, Connie comes through the smoke, getting his own original animation, an animation that reminds me of the one Levi got on season 3. Connie doesn't care about anything at this point. After killing his friends and getting so far, it is clear he is not afraid to die. And look how amazing he is. You could see how all those bloody years and battles have improved their skills dramatically. Here, there is also a nice payback. In the past, Annie saved Connie and Jean from a titan, and now Connie is returning a favor. And just then, we get another transformation. Meet the new Double Jaw Titan. Look at this thing. At first, I didn't like it, but I take it back because he's magnificent. He still gives me that Jason from Tokyo Ghoul vibe when he had his Kakuja on. Let me know in the comments if this reminds you of him as well, or am I just crazy? But there is something really important to point out here. Something I mentioned in my original review as well. Falco is the first and only Titan shifter that turned into a Titan because of Zeke's spinal fluid. Falco ingested some of the tainted wine and was turned by Zeke's scream, unlike the regular process with the Titan injection. Does this fact make Falco's Titan any different or stronger? Does it make him connected to Zeke in any way? And if you think about it, his Titan has some beast qualities, only Falco is basically a giant chicken. And now it's Flock's time to shine, with incredible animation, completely original. None of this was in the manga. The anime gave Flock much more attention, and honestly, like it or not, his determination is something else. He avoids Falco's Titan, which is of course just rampaging. He kicks Hanji, dodges the cart Titan, and shoots a Thunder Spear, flipping in the air and manages to get a clear line of shot. He wants to be the one who saves Eldia, but he gets sniped right from the sky, making him miss the shot. In the manga, it looked like something exploded next to him, but the anime made it much more clear. Flock drops into the ocean, and of course, the only one that can't seem to miss a single shot is only Gabby. Here Mikasa gets her longest original scene, which was extremely brutal. After literally making it rain blood, the other soldiers just run in fear from just looking at her. This may upset some people, but Mikasa is slowly taking over the role of humanity's strongest soldier. Levi's condition is not good, and he can't really grow fingers or a new eye, and not to mention he is much older than Mikasa. Right now, Mikasa is the most devastating force on this battlefield, and the anime made it very clear with all the attention to her brutal scene and special acrobatics. But regardless, everyone has their fair share of killing, and there aren't any actual winners here. Well, maybe just the animators that had to animate this massacre. They are the winners here for sure. Next, we have a very surprising moment. Falco can't control his Titan. Who would have imagined? He attacks Peak, but she holds him until Magath takes him out of his Titan. Now look at that beautiful moment. Hanji helping Peak, Magath carries Falco, Jean and Connie helping Reiner, and Mikasa is carrying her biggest enemy, Annie. And I know this is extremely sad, but somehow it still felt nice seeing the original group together again like years before. The ship sets sail and Magath decides to stay behind to keep the reinforcements from attacking them. And just before he gets attacked, he is saved by Keith Shades. What an incredible meeting of two commanders. One that used to command the scouts and the other from Marley, the commander of the warriors. He is the same one who sent those warriors to attack Paradise while Keith Shades was still in command of the scouts. They decided to sabotage the second ship, so the Yeagerists won't be able to chase the other ship. So yes, Keith was indeed the figure in the window, and he was also the one who stopped the train earlier, saving everyone. When he watched his soldiers join forces with Annie, he was actually proud of them. He was the one who trained them, and he proud to see them grow up to be people who fight for what they believe in. They inspired him. This is why he also helped Magath. And now he is simply looking for a place to die. Shadis, who always felt like a bystander, now gets recognition from Magaf when it tells him he will be remembered as the hero who saved the world. Keith tells him the same, but Magaf can't feel proud of himself. He could only imagine how good it would have felt if he hadn't sent those kids to attack the island. If they could only have a normal, peaceful life. And how he was the main reason they never had one. We see a beautiful image of the warriors from the time Zeke brought Reiner from the island. Keith tells him he and the kids are proud of him, and for the first time, the two men exchange their names and smile at each other, just as Magaf ignites the gunpowder. This scene was so powerful, especially because the blast was completely silenced, along with Gabby's scream as she watched her commander give his life to save them. This is where the chapter originally ended, but this episode continues after the credits for a little glimpse from the next chapter. The Dawn of Humanity. On the ship, Annie realizes that they won't get to Marley in time to save her father. Obviously, this is devastating for her because he is the only reason she is doing all of this, and that makes her want to give up. Hanji tells her that even Magaf knew they won't be able to save Marley. He saved them not so they could save Marley. It's bigger than this now. This is the entire world at stake, and the group needs to do whatever they can to save anyone they can. Annie asks Mikasa once more if she could kill Eren, or would she be able to watch Annie try to kill him. This time Mikasa doesn't get mad. She actually looks very sad, but she still isn't able to give an answer. Annie breaks into crying. She doesn't want to fight anymore, not with any of them, and not even with Eren. And this episode ends with a familiar bird above. Now I wanted to mention something from the next episode preview that might be a spoiler, so if you want to avoid that, you should stop watching now. Okay, so in the preview, the only thing we got was Eren's conversation with Zeke, which is part of the next chapter. But we also got those words. The things we saw that day. The things we talked about that day. And the things we chose that day. It was all he ever wanted, referring probably to Eren saying, even if this was all I ever wanted. The things we saw would be the memories. The things we talked about could refer to Zeke, Historia, and also, of course, Mikasa. And the thing we chose must mean one thing. Mikasa's decision from chapter 123, Island Devils. And that means we have a very good chance of seeing a clown next episode, and also finally meet Ramsey in the anime. If this happens, what answer would Mikasa say? Would she say the same thing she said in the manga? Or maybe something else that will trigger a different ending? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to get notified about my live stream and about more videos coming out this week. I will see you all real soon in my next video, and even sooner in the comments. And until then, don't forget to dedicate your hearts to humanity, inside and outside the walls.